In 1953, a 27-year-old man named Henry Molaison had brain surgery to fix his epilepsy. It worked, but it destroyed something else. For the next 55 years, Henry forgot every single day of his life. Every morning, he'd look in the mirror and be confused by how old his reflection looked. Here's the disturbing part. What happened to Henry is happening to you right now. Just slower. How much of your life do you actually remember? Most people remember only 10 to 20 days from the entire past year. That means roughly 95% of your year is gone. It is not just over. It is erased from your mind entirely. Henry forgot every day because of surgery. You forget almost every day on your own. The difference between you and Henry is a matter of degree, not kind. This creates a moment called Henry's mirror. It is that moment when you see an older face staring back at you and wonder where the time went. But you do not have a memory problem. You have a time problem, and it is getting worse every single year. In 1897, a French philosopher figured out exactly how much worse. The math is disturbing. Paul Janet noticed a pattern that is impossible to ignore once you understand it. When you are 5 years old, 1 year represents 20% of your entire life. But when you are 50 years old, 1 year is only 2% of your life. This mathematical reality distorts your perception of time. A single summer for a 5-year-old feels exactly as long as an entire decade from age 40 to 50. We can follow this math to its logical conclusion. By your 20th birthday, you have experienced roughly half of your perceived life. The next 60 years will feel exactly as long as your first 20 years. If you map your experienced life onto a timeline, childhood occupies most of the space. Everything after age 20 compresses into a steadily shrinking fraction. This timeline follows a logarithmic curve. It is the exact same mathematical law that dictates how human eyes perceive brightness and how our ears hear sound. Your brain measures time strictly relative to the time that came before it. This leads to an uncomfortable truth. If you are 30 years old today, your life is not 37% over. In terms of how it actually feels, your life is closer to 70% over. But Janet's law only describes the pattern. It does not explain why this happens. Something specific is physically occurring inside your brain. A neuroscientist named David Eagleman discovered exactly what it is, and he found the answer by falling off a roof. When David Eagleman was 8 years old, he climbed onto a house under construction in his neighborhood. He lost his footing and plunged off the roof. A strange thing happened during the drop. The fall seemed to take a very long time. He watched the red brick floor approach in slow motion. He hit the ground and lost consciousness. He survived, but he never forgot that stretched-out moment. Years later, he became a neuroscientist to answer one specific question. Why did time slow down during the fall? He discovered the answer has to do with how your brain writes memories. When your brain encounters something new or dangerous, a region called the amygdala activates. It immediately begins recording dense, highly detailed memories. It documents absolutely everything. Later, your brain reads those memories back. The sheer density of information makes it draw a logical conclusion. It assumes the event must have lasted a long time. Time did not actually slow down during his fall. His brain just recorded more data per second than usual. This reveals a crucial biological mechanism. Your brain does not measure time with a clock. It measures time with memory. The more memories you write, the longer a period of time feels in hindsight. The fewer memories you write, the shorter it feels. This single fact explains exactly why time accelerates as you age. Your brain runs 3 completely different versions of time, and they almost never agree with each other. First, there is clock time. This is objective and always stays the same. Second, there is experience time. This dictates how time feels in the current moment. Finally, there is memory time. This determines how much time you recall after an event ends. These 3 clocks explain a strange contradiction you have definitely felt. Your flight gets delayed by 1 hour. Sitting at the gate feels like 5 hours. But weeks later, you barely remember the wait. Or you spend 1 hour on a sunrise walk with friends. That hour passes instantly. Yet a year later, you recall that single hour more clearly than the entire month of April. Psychologists call this the holiday paradox. A 2-week vacation in a new place goes by quickly while you are there. Your experience time is fast because you are completely absorbed in the environment. But after you return home, that trip seems to have lasted a full month. Your memory time expands because your brain recorded dense data from all the new sights. A routine month at home does the exact opposite. It does not feel fast or slow while it happens. But afterward, those 4 weeks completely vanish. Your brain recorded almost nothing, so that time ceases to exist. This is exactly why time speeds up as you age. Consider your childhood. Every single thing you encountered was new. You experienced your first day of school, your first bike ride, and your first heartbreak. Your brain constantly saved detailed information. Because that data is so dense, your early years feel enormous in hindsight. But as an adult, you perform daily tasks automatically. You commute the exact same route every morning. You sit through the same meetings and eat the same meals. Your brain barely records any of this repetitive activity. Entire weeks pass without leaving a single distinct mark in your mind. When you look back, those weeks do not exist. They are simply gone. Fading memories only explain part of the problem. There is a second reason your days disappear. This one is entirely biological. Your brain has a physical internal clock, and it is actively slowing down. The most disturbing part is that you cannot feel it happening. Neuroscientist Warren Meck spent decades researching this exact mechanism. He discovered that your brain contains a dedicated pacemaker system. This system runs entirely on a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine produces a steady stream of internal pulses. Your mind counts these pulses to measure passing seconds. During your youth, your body produces massive amounts of dopamine. The internal pacing system operates at maximum speed. Your brain registers thousands of pulses per minute of objective time. Because you experience so many internal pulses, the outside world seems to move at a manageable pace. Then you get older. Your natural dopamine production steadily drops year after year. The internal pacing system begins to lag. Your brain registers fewer and fewer pulses for every minute of reality. More real time passes between each internal pulse. As a result, the external world appears to accelerate. Your surroundings move faster than your brain can process. Scientists observe this mechanism clearly in patients with Parkinson's disease. This condition causes a severe and rapid loss of dopamine. People with this disease consistently underestimate passing time. Without enough dopamine, their internal pacing system barely registers any pulses at all. A full minute of objective time feels like just a few seconds to them. This extreme shift proves how completely dopamine controls our perception of reality. That exact biological decay happens to every single human being. It just occurs at a slower, more gradual rate. The internal pacemaker of a 60-year-old is physically slower than the pacemaker of a 20-year-old. Two distinct forces are currently working together to accelerate your perception of reality. First, you stop forming new memories. This causes entire years to vanish in hindsight. Second, your dopamine production drops. This causes the present moment to move faster than your brain can track. The memory issue is behavioral. The dopamine drop is biological. You have zero control over the biological decay. No one can stop their internal pacemaker from slowing down. But you might actually have power over the behavioral side. Before we explore the solution, let us do some math you probably want to avoid. The average person lives for about 4,000 weeks. If you are 30 years old right now, you have roughly 2,600 weeks remaining. But that number only measures objective clock time. The duration you actually experience and remember is much smaller. A typical adult forms lasting memories for about 15 specific days each year. Apply that rate to the 50 years between age 30 and age 80. You will only retain memories for about 750 days during that entire span. That equals about 2 years of conscious memories spread across 5 decades of biological aging. We can narrow this calculation further. Think about your parents. If they are in their 60s and you visit them twice a year, the remaining count is extremely low. You will probably see them 20 or 30 more times total. Consider a favorite annual tradition. You might only experience it 40 or 50 more times. People assume they have an infinite supply of summer vacations and Sunday dinners. Assigning a fixed mathematical value to these events reveals their absolute limits. This calculation completely changes the purpose of our discussion. We are no longer simply investigating why the calendar feels faster. The critical question is what you plan to do with your remaining 750 days. You have the ability to change this outcome. The neurological science we just reviewed shows you exactly what to do next. Everything we just covered points to one fundamental mechanism. Your mind measures time using memory. Since new experiences create memories, the formula for slowing down time is straightforward. There are 3 concrete actions you can take starting today. First, you must seek novelty. Your mind logs unfamiliar situations automatically. You need to break your daily routine. Even slight changes force your brain out of autopilot and into active recording. Take a different route to work. Start a conversation with a stranger. Give your vision a physical environment it has never processed before. Second, give your life a formal structure. University feels massive in hindsight because it relies on a strict schedule. Students experience semesters, exams, and defined milestones. Without that framework, your days blend together. You must define specific goals and turning points. When you organize events into distinct periods, you retain more information. Third, pay close attention to small details. You cannot travel to a foreign country every single day, but you can control your immediate focus. Japanese culture recognizes a practice called ichigo ichi. It means every single moment is entirely unique and will never happen again. Your morning coffee is never identical to yesterday. The temperature changes. The light hits the window at a different angle. Your mood fluctuates. When you actively notice these variations, your mind logs the new data, and retained data becomes remembered time. Let us return to Henry Mollison. Henry had no choice. His surgery destroyed his biological capacity to form new memories. Every 24 hours vanished completely. But you possess a choice. Run on default mode, and you might survive to age 80, but only recall 30 years. Live deliberately using novelty, structure, and attention, and the numbers change entirely. You might reach 80 and retain a timeline that feels closer to 300 years. The core question at the start of this video was never why time accelerates. The core question is whether you are observing your own daily existence. Because right now, this exact moment is already becoming a memory. The only question left is whether you will remember it.